And in the Compass of Zen, in the one of chapter, the Zen Circle. Zen Circle is like in their examples of person A, he understands the 90 degree. What is a mountain is water, water is mountain. He understands, and then it is necessary to make an experience.
What's your experience?
So he said
A가
that A person A is him. So he understands he's the brain. But
Yeah. So 90 degrees is only understanding.
그래서 90도는 오직 이해만 하는 겁니다.
But get to 90 degrees, sometimes realize understanding not enough. So we begin practicing. Yeah. Okay, that's important. You know, look, everybody here is like a 40 or 50 or 60. You remember when you were a kid. Yeah, everybody remembers a little bit different age. And maybe you've seen photographs. You remember what you looked like, maybe 5 years old or 10 years old. So take one of those pictures and stand in front of the mirror, look at the picture, look in the mirror. That's form is emptiness, emptiness is form right there. This doesn't look like this. But I kind of know it's the same person, but what happened? Does the form is emptiness and emptiness is form? Everything changing. That might be enough to shock you into practicing more. Don't worry about some experience like I'm supposed to have. Just connect with your experience and go straight, don't know. Try. Then sometime we can attain 180. Is originally nothing at all. Then we come back to this everyday life and we can function, but less attachment. And everybody already has all the points on the circle. Sometimes we have like 360, we're just clear. We're not thinking, oh, I'm 360, I'm clear now. We just are. Light turns red, you stop your car. Sometimes you have a little this magic mind. Teenagers have that a lot. Oh, I can paraglide, you know, I can like sail. And I know when I was a teenager, I had a motorcycle. I never wore a helmet. And I thought, you know, die, I'm not gonna die. Then one day I'm going across a bridge about 120 kilometers an hour. No airbag, no helmet, no doors, you know, just like, it's a great feeling, but a huge truck went by and my bike went wham, wham. And I was like, I'm gonna die. After a while, I sold the bike. It really hit me. It's like, oh my God, what, am I nuts? You know? And of course, I never told my parents I had it. So, do you know what your children are doing? I think if my parents were alive, they'd be happy that I never told them that, because they'd just be like, well, you're alive now, okay? So sometimes we have no mind at all. Sometimes we have some thinking mind, like, oh my God, I'm getting older. Sometimes we have very attached mind. One time I had 2 dogs. Yep. The older one was very small, younger one was big. But the older one, when she felt like it, she was kind of the boss. And it was so funny because we'd feed them at the same time. Yeah. But I put one bowl here and one bowl over here. And every time, the first thing they did is they looked in the other guy's bowl. They'd go over to the other bowl and smell it. And then they'd suddenly realize, she's looking at my bowl, and he'd run back and she'd run back. It's a 0 degrees. We're same. You know, guys are like, teenagers especially, oh, he's got a big muscle. So we all have experiences of those, but when we make it clear, then we have a direction, digest any experience, and become clear. Then this experience, not control us, give us wisdom. This, we digest our experience, we can begin to develop compassion for other people automatically. And that's very beautiful and saves people from suffering. When my last parent died, my mother, I think I was 66. You know, so she was 92. We got to be together for decades, you know.
Good.
And I was
진짜.
even happy for her because she died before she had to move out of her apartment into some old age home. You know, most people don't want to move out of their home, but most of us have to eventually. We can't take care of ourselves. Now, some of you know Dae Bong Sunim, who used to work in the Musangsa office. He's 2 years older than me. When I came back to Musangsa, he came to see me. Oh, I'm sorry your mother died. Then he said, we're both orphans now. I thought it was so funny in a way because when I think of an orphan, I think of like a 10-year-old child with no parents, not 66 and 68. But I thought, okay, it's cute. But, you know, if you've lost parents when you're young, naturally you'll have sympathy for others who did, and that will help them. If you have really bad parents, you may develop sympathy and compassion for other people who had really bad parents. You understand them, their suffering. So it's beautiful. So you keep your big question, what is my true nature? And slowly you'll digest your life experience and your thinking, and that will become compassion and wisdom eventually for others. So it's not like, oh, I have to have this experience and I have to have that experience. That's not what the teaching's about. You'll be able to understand your own experience and digest it. That's the important